What is going on, guys? JimoPlays here, and today I'm bringing you guys a video in which I'm going to be talking about my first time ever nearly fainting. I didn't actually faint, but I was probably about 5 seconds from fainting, really. And so, yeah, today I'm going to be telling you guys the story about how I almost fainted and how it was my first time that I almost fainted. And if you guys have never fainted, comment down below how it felt like to faint, in case you have ever fainted. But yeah, so let's get started with the story. But before that, I wanted to also say that in the background here, you are watching a Blacklight Retribution bot gameplay. I was not able to put out a actual online gameplay because for some reason I was getting terrible connection. Players were jumping across everywhere. I was shooting at enemies that were walking in place and then they'd be across the map in the next 5 seconds. I don't know, I was getting tons of lag and I was not able to put out an online video, an online gameplay. So what I decided to do is I'll just record a bot match, and with recording a bot match, I hope you guys can understand that this is probably once in like ever thing I will do. If next time, if this ever occurs, then I guess I'll just go and record another game, such as Warframe or anything you guys suggest that I actually find pretty fun. So yeah, let's get started with the story. Now, it was, I'm not actually sure when, it was this year, I know that. I don't think it was, I don't know if it was in the summer. No, it wasn't in the summer. I think it was close before the summer ended, like the last month of school. And what happened was, while I was, at school, my friend, he told me, asked if I can go on a bike ride with him, and I had a pretty terrible bike. My bike was extremely rusty. It ran terribly. The back wheel wobbled as it went. It was extremely old, dirty, and it was terrible. And what happened, what we decided to do, they told us a week before, and so I was like, oh, okay, I'll just fix my bike before the day that we actually get there. But that they come and pick us up when we go and biking to his house. His house was about, I don't know, I can say about, not 4 miles, probably less than 4 miles, a bit less than 4 miles. But the thing is, this is not really a hard bike ride at all. But I mean, the thing is, what I did is, that day, I didn't eat anything in the morning. I didn't drink anything. I just went out there and I started biking. Now, my bike had a hole in it, and this we tried to resolve on the last day before they came and picked us up. My dad went out to buy a fix-a-flat to be able to pump it up so it stayed in the same condition, you know, so it wouldn't get flat anymore. And we also pumped it up fully, and it was okay. And for that, now what happened was we decided, okay, it's time to go, and we went off leaving, and we went about a mile and a half in, and I started to slow down, and I started to slowly, start moving downward. Also, another thing is that my bike, the seat, you know, you can adjust the seat, lift it up higher and everything, and lower it. It kept falling down constantly, and I'd always have to stop. And I was being a really big drag the whole entire way because my friend and his mom had a really fancy bike, and it was meant for these kind of rides, and I had this cheap old street bike. So what happened was I was riding, and we got about a mile and a half, and then we hit a point where I was going down, and we were going down one of those little things. You know how you get up onto the sidewalk, those kind of things? And I hit it, and I felt like I hit something, and I was like, whoa, what happened? And I was like, oh, I might have fell off the curb. Then I started feeling myself slow down, and my seat just plummeted, and I was like, oh gosh, what's happening? And I stopped, and I looked behind me, and I realized my bike is out of the tires, just spewing out all that fix-it flat liquid, and it is also just completely, the seat is dropped, and we have about 2 miles to go. And also, I'm going to replay the gameplay if this commentary carries over. So what happens is, I'm like, oh gosh, this is not good. And so, while we go and we continue, I have to ride like this, and it is extremely painful, and I look like a 6-year-old because my bike is so low, it's like I'm one of those, like, pimp, you know, those cholos that, like, sit down, like the bottom of the sheet on those, like, pimpin' bikes here. Yeah, I just said that. So, with that said, what happened was, while I was, going, we sort of made this turn, and my friend decided, you know what, let's switch bikes because I know you're having a lot of trouble riding that. And what happened was I had to get on his bike, and his bike was extremely huge. Like, I've never rode a bike that was like one of those tall ones where you hold into like these little bars and like the wheels are like extremely thin. I've never rode one of those bikes. So like I struggled to get on and position myself to pedal. It's not that it was too short, but it felt so weird and it hurt my groin so much while I was riding that. Anyways, so we go on about that, and then we sort of get to about a place where, like, okay, let's just switch back off again. And then we continue riding, and I'm still in that same condition. We have to stop a few times, fix my seat, and it keeps going down, and it's really painful. And what happens is we end up going down, and we end up finally getting to his house. And while we're at his house, I was like, okay, I was like, oh, do you want water? Yeah, sure, I'll have some water. You know, I was pretty tired. It was like, felt like it was 100 degrees outside. And what happened was he gave me water, and then I started to drink it, and then everything just turned blue. Like, everything turned blue. I saw a bunch of sparkles going everywhere. My eyes, I was trying to open my eyes because I couldn't tell if they were open or closed, like they were falling asleep. And I was like, what the heck? And then I heard, like, voices just like this, like, loud, and it fades out, and beep, just like a loud, complete beep. And then I hear my friend, like, are you there? And I'm like, whoa, I couldn't tell if my eyes were open. I felt really dizzy, like I was gonna throw up. And all I see was colors and sparkles, and everything just turned blue. It was becoming darker and darker and darker, like if something was coming at me. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna sit down. And so like I started like pathfinding my way with like holding onto things to try and like sit down on one of their couches. And I sat down there, and boom, I flop onto there, and oh my gosh, that was so painful. My head was just bing, like if somebody just like grabbed a hammer and hit it completely. And I was just like, oh my gosh. And I had to sit there for like a few minutes, like probably 3 minutes, until like it went away. I was like, oh my gosh, I was so close to fainting right there. Like, let me give you guys a life tip. If you're going to do some athletic activity, don't say I'm not going to drink or eat because I might get cramps. Do you need that kind of stuff? I recommend it a lot because it increases your chance of fainting, and you need the energy from your food. Just something to say there, because I've had experience with this event, and it was terrible. It was a terrible feeling, and I don't recommend that anybody goes through it. So I was extremely dehydrated, and I didn't eat any food. But yeah, so that's practically my story. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please drop a like. That'd be really awesome. We can go for 10 likes this video. You guys smash the other video. Smash, okay. And yeah, so thank you guys for watching Gmo Plays, and I am out. Peace!